All right, readers. Today we're going to be thinking about orienting readers with setting. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night not knowing where you were? Looking around and having to readjust yourself until you turned on the lights and realized that you were in your room? Well, sometimes readers feel that way when they're reading a piece that doesn't talk about the setting. Oftentimes, we as writers need to make sure that we're orienting the readers with the setting so that way they know where the action is taking place and when. Today, I want to teach you that you need to be sure that you turn on the lights in your stories to show the place and time so that your readers don't have that disoriented feeling asking, wait, where is this? What's going on? I want us to take a look at a scene. I didn't know what to do. I looked at her. Hey, are you mad at me? I asked. No, are you mad at me? She asked. I took a deep breath. No, I don't think so, I said. Great, then let's race, she said. Now, this scene doesn't really tell us where things are taking place or when. So I took a moment and I rewrote this scene to really think about where the story was taking place. Remember, I want to show, not tell my reader where the story takes place. Notice how I do that. Are you mad at me? I asked as we walked down the sidewalk together. No, are you mad at me? Zoe responded. A car whizzed past us, kicking up water from the rain-filled gutters as it went. I thought about what Zoe was asking, and shifted the umbrella so that it protected her as well as me. With my other hand, I tugged on my backpack straps. My bag was heavy from all the homework our teacher had given us. No, I'm not mad, I said. She smiled at me from beneath her yellow rain hood. Good, then let's race. She took off ahead of me, splashing through every puddle on the sidewalk. The rain streamed down on her. I pulled in my umbrella and took off after her. I caught up with her, then looped easily in her wake. Now, readers, were you able to see how my story really showed where the action was taking place? I, as a writer, had to do the work to make sure that you, as a reader, could make a movie in your head. Could you see the rain? Could you see the car zooming past us as we walked down the sidewalk? Hopefully, because I was using descriptive language to really orient you to the setting of my story. Let's take a look at the story we wrote earlier this year and think about how are we orienting the readers with the setting. Cake, my mom called from the kitchen. All of us raced to the table, which my mom had decorated entirely in yellow. Everything looks so cool, Martha said as she reached for a thick slice of yellow cake and chocolate frosting. I couldn't help grinning. It had been right to choose yellow. It was a cool color. Since I didn't really have a favorite color, it didn't really matter anyway. I had barely swallowed the last bit of my cake when the other girls started to jump out of their seats to toss their party plates in the trash. Let's go, first one there gets dibs on spots, Trish called out as she ran. Here's my place, said Sarah. I'll be near, I said. We can talk, but let's move closer to the closet. No, this is nice. Well, can we fit in? 3 others said. I'll move over, I answered. Sarah got her sleeping bag and found an empty spot of rug behind the sofa. She unrolled her sleeping bag. Then Sarah said, Here's my place. I grabbed my stuff and sat on the floor beside Sarah. I'll be right there, I said. We can talk, but as I said that, I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep there. I couldn't see the closet where the light was on, so I knew I had to move. I tried to talk Sarah into it and said, Let's move closer to the closet. Lying down, Sarah said, No, this is nice. I wasn't sure. I looked over to a nice spot right beside the closet and was about to try again to get Sarah to move closer to the closet. Then 3 other girls came. Can we fit? They asked. I'll move over, I said, and picked up my stuff and went over to the empty place. I watched as the group of girls figured out how to arrange their sleeping bags so they could all be close to each other. I heard Eliza say, This way we can whisper together all night. I turned my back away from them, toward the closet where the light shone. Do you see how this scene was pretty detailed? Could you imagine being in the living room, a sofa in the middle with girls starting to go around in their sleeping bags for the sleepover? Maybe you can even picture the closet far off to the side with a nightlight on. When you write your stories today, make sure that each scene you are orienting your reader to the setting. Today, You should be drafting quite a bit of your story. Try to be done with about 3 scenes by the end of today.
As the teacher sat in the darkness of his own prison, all he could do was listen to the fish tank in the corner of the room. As he sat at the edge of his bed, he contemplated what would happen in the coming weeks. He sat on top of a checkered quilt that lay on top of a blue bedspread. At the top of his bed near the pillows were his 2 stuffed animals, Freedom the cat and Hershey the hedgehog. As he sat on the edge of his bed, he pet his big black cat, Jonas. In the past few days, Jonas had only brought him happiness during this crazy time. All right, writers, were you able to picture in your mind where I was? Could you picture my bedroom as I described it to you? Can you hear the fish tank? I'm sitting at the edge of my bed on top of this checkered quilt and blue bedspread. Do you notice Freedom and Hershey back there, as well as, most importantly, Jonas? Well, hopefully I was able to orient you to my setting. Remember that today during your writing, you want to make sure that the reader is oriented to your setting of whatever story you're writing. Remember, a setting doesn't just happen at the beginning of a story. The setting is throughout. So, if the location of your story changes, then you need to describe that setting just as well. Make sure that your reader can make a movie in their mind and picture exactly what you want them to picture. Where is the world that your story takes place? I'm excited to see the work that you do today, writers. Until next time.